Carpenter ants have definitely been in here, and in fact, you can hear it.
You've got a gigundo hole in your soffit.
What happened?
Oh my God, dead bird.
Minus the seafoam green rug.
Right.
It's okay, it's a choice.
As you can see,
It's
it's
a
kind of
little nasty.
grimy and
Yeah.
not smooth.
9 inches of insulation. That's not nearly enough. Hi, I'm Tom Kreitler.
And I'm Leslie Segretti, and we're here at the Westchester County home of Tricia and Chris. Now, with a 22-year-old home, we're going to see some issues that are kind of dated.
Plus, outside the house, it's built into a hillside. We're already seeing that the retaining walls that are keeping the earth from pushing this right down the hill are completely rotted away.
All right, let's meet Tricia and Chris and see if we can help them save some money on their money pit.
So, Trish, this house was built in 1989. Chris, how long have you guys been here?
It's been 8 years now.
8 years. Okay, so 1989 house, 22 years old, beautiful lot, very sloping lot. So you needed these retaining walls to actually construct the house inside the hill. But while the house has stood up really well for 22 years, this wall, not so much.
Yeah, we're not sure what's going on
really,
here.
Not really at all.
Okay, well, I see 3 things happening here. First of all, you've got a problem with frost, and that stems from drainage. So the water is rolling into the back of the wall. You see how it's much higher than the grade? What's happening is the water gets behind it, it freezes, it pushes the wall, and that cycle repeats itself. But there's 2 more things happening here, and that's decay and carpenter ants. Let me show you a good example of those.
Okay. How do we know it's not termites?
That's a good question. The damage pattern tells me that. So let's take a look at this. Notice these used to be sort of the rings of the tree. You can see down the end of the railroad tie here. Notice that you only have the thin ring. The thick ring, which is what was in between, is missing. Do you know why?
No.
Carpenter ant food, okay? They're smart. They don't eat the hard winter growth. They eat the soft summer growth. So that's why you see this pattern. This is carpenter ants. But the other thing that's going on here is we see actual decay. Decay is different than insect damage. It happens when the wood gets to be over about 25% wet and it starts to sort of rot. And if you take a look at right here, you'll see that this wood here, notice how it looks different. It's kind of soft and spongy.
Yeah.
Almost looks like cork, doesn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of
That's
it is looking
decay.
like that.
So you have a combination of decay here and carpenter ants in the same area. If this wall was properly constructed, had great drainage, you probably would have a wall here that would last 50 years. I've got an idea, though, for a wall that could last hundreds of years. You'll do it once, and it'll be the last time you have to think
Terrific.
about it.
That's super.
All right, let's take a look.
Okay.
So, Tricia, this is your son Ryan's room, right?
Yes.
Now, tell me what's going on in here. It seems like you kind of just backed him into the space.
Well, it was my daughter's room.
Okay.
So I feel like you can't really tell that it's a boy's room. I mean, I
It's
used
gender
the
neutral.
navy.
So what I was thinking, when you have a smaller space, oddly, the more furniture you put in it, the larger the space can feel if it's to the proper scale. And I use this program here, which is great. And I put in all the dimensions of your space.
Okay.
And I started by taking out that rug and maybe going with something in a warm brown tone. It
Nice.
doesn't have to be expensive. For less than $500, you can have a beautiful floor.
Oh, that's great.
And then I like the idea of putting the bed here where we're standing.
Okay. I mean, what would this cost?
It really depends on your fabric choices.
Okay.
You're ranging anywhere between $20 a yard to $100 a yard.
Wow.
And it depends on how you use it. For the headboard, you're not going to need more than 1.5 yards. For your
Okay.
window treatments, you're looking about 2 to 3 yards per.
Okay.
So you really can pick something and have a good bang for your buck.
So we found a large pile of stone on your property. Somebody must have dumped it here years ago, but that's actually good news for you because I think you guys can take the stone and make a retaining wall that could last literally forever. And to show you what it would look like, we actually built one right here. So take a look at this.
That's terrific.
Isn't that neat?
It looks beautiful.
All right, now I've got an email from Claire in Indiana, and she wrote, "Hi, Tom and Leslie. This is a picture of my dishwasher. The seal started slipping a few weeks ago and is now completely off. It leaks when I run it. I've tried reattaching it, but I can't make it stick. What adhesive do you suggest I use that can withstand a dishwasher cycle? Thank you."
You know what's going on here? It's not that she needs a glue for this because
Right.
the old seal will actually shrink over time.
It looks like it and just fell right off.
Exactly. So what we need to do here is actually replace the seal. And there's a website called repairclinic.com.
Oh God, they have everything
They
there.
do. And you can buy a new seal there. It's about $48.
That's not bad.
So for under $50, you're going to have a dishwasher that you can use again.
And that's a lot less than a brand new dishwasher, Claire.
Absolutely.
We can sit in here and let it go for up to 5 minutes before we get hot water.
We have the wood floor, not the slab, We really want to make the outside look like an extension of our inside.
Well, we have this balcony. It's cute, but it's really small. And we want to kind of spruce it up with more than just 2 little chairs, but there's not a lot of space for plants.
Have you heard of a living wall?
I have not.
That would work really well for him.
Yeah, you know exactly what it is, what it sounds like is you actually plant on your wall. So you're creating a vertical garden, if you will. And there's a company called Woolly Pockets.
That's right. They make the Wally. And the planter actually sits inside of that and sort of shoots out the top.
Can you see this?
Yeah, that looks really cool.
Hey, Stephanie.
Hi, Steph.
So you have a noisy New York apartment. Go figure.
Yes, well, you know, the problem of living in Manhattan is that people have to live so close to each other. So part of that is that you get to hear your neighbors, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Well, there are a lot of ways to try to quiet a wall and stop the sound transfer. You could put multiple layers of drywall on it. You could use a special glue in between the layers, or you could use sort of a decor solution.
True,
That
but it's an actual audio solution as well.
That's right. So how about if we come to your house and make this problem totally go away? All right, Stephanie, so the problem here is sound transmission through the master bedroom wall, correct?
Yes.
And
Common New York City problem.
Exactly, exactly. Now, most people think that you can deal with that with insulation like this. They like to put this inside the wall, think it's going to deaden the sound. It's cheap, it's easy. The problem is it just doesn't work, right? Now, drywall is cheap. It's about $6 a sheet. You have to put 2 layers of drywall, though, so hold that. And the key is what you put in between them, and it's called green glue. And this is the product right here, and it's a sound deadening adhesive. So we take it and we squeeze it out.
It's actually green.
It really is green, hence the name. We put this out. Now it takes 2 tubes of this for every 4 by 8
And it actually
sheet.
stops the sound?
It does, okay? So 2 tubes of this stuff for every
really
4
supposed
by
to
8
use that
sheets.
much?
Yep, 2 tubes. And then we put the second layer on top, just like this. And we offset the seams, and away we go. Now, another way to do this is with a sound deadening drywall, where if you notice this stuff, it's already laminated.
That seems
okay?
a lot less messy.
But the big difference here is that you have to tear out the master bedroom wall to get behind it. The reason is because you get sound transmission through the outlets and all the other little gaps. So is it okay if we get the crowbars out and head into your master bedroom?
No.
So something that I've worked with before, this is called Acoustic Wall Surfaces, and it's a tracking system, and they lock together. Now the track is going to run around $300 for the entire room, which isn't terrible, but then what you need to do is once you decide the layout, you'll also need to put in between, what I like to use is Homosote, which is a compressed paper board, and this really works well as a sound deadener. So we've got the top track and the base track are already on your wall. And what happens is, here's your Homosote. So this is really what's doing the job of sound deadening, plus the super thick fabric is really gonna help muffle everything. So hopefully once this is all fully finished, the only thing you're gonna hear is, or maybe even
Nothing.
Silence. Not, Kathy, I can't take it anymore.
nothing.
So let's talk a bit about the budget now that we're underway. If you had a professional decorator do this entire project, any guess as to what it might cost?
Expensive, it looks really high end.
Yeah, 10 grand. Now, what we've done is we've spent about $300 on the track. That Homosote has cost about $100, so that's 4 right there. And we decided to splurge on this beautiful fabric. That was $1,500. But remember, if you needed a budget, you could have gone a lot less. We went high end. So total price on this, $1,900 versus 10 grand. Great
Wow.
deal.
It looks so pretty. Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you.
Do you like it?
Oh my
great?
God, it's way better than I even thought it could ever
fantastic.
be. And
And what's that?
super quiet.
And we saved you about $8,000 over what it would have cost to have
Really?
a professional decorator do this.
Woohoo! Bonus.
Nice.
Oh
Now
my
we can
God.
use that money and do the rest of the apartment.
That's right.
All right, let's get to work.